What's up, Charlie? Hey guys, Mike Build. As you guys can see, we're in my backyard. Now you're probably wondering, but Michael, why are you in your backyard doing a video? It's because we have a new gas generator that we're gonna unbox and test out and see if it's any good. So what we have here is a open frame inverter style generator. Inverter meaning it's gonna have very clean output and it's not gonna have to run the engine at a high RPM like you would with a normal generator. So these normally get better fuel economy. They can also run a lot quieter. This generator has 4,400 starting watts, 3,400 running watts. It is equipped with a 208cc 4-stroke engine, has a 2-gallon gas tank, so that should give you pretty good runtime. They claim up to 14 hours at 25% load. And the name of the company is called Efurden. Now at the time I'm making this video, this generator right now is on sale for $320, making it one of the cheapest inverter generators on the market that I've seen. At least you can't even get, you know, a 2,000 watt inverter generator for that price. Normally they're about $400 to $500. So we're gonna find out today if this $320 generator is any good. All right, here's a good close-up of the front. So right here we have our eco on and off, so that's gonna idle down the engine to give you your better fuel economy as well as make it a little bit quieter. Right here is gonna be the on-off switch to turn the engine on and off. There's no electric start. It's gonna be pull start only. You have an AC breaker and a DC breaker. You have a DC 12-volt outlet right here. I did not see the exact amperage that the DC outlet can put out, but if I had to guess, it's probably about 10 amps, maybe 15 max. We have our status lights, one for your oil, low oil, one of them for a warning, like if you overload the generator, and the other one's just a run LED. And then you're gonna have 2 plugs, so just a normal 20 amp socket right there. And then you're gonna have your 3-prong. This is gonna be for like a camper or an RV. Nice orange color, I really like that. It's got a little gas gauge. Here's a better look at the side of the unit. We have a nice, like a metal roll cage on each side that's gonna protect the gas tank from bangs and whatever. This is gonna be the side of the engine. The other side of the engine where the pull start's at is actually where the generator part of this machine is. So this part's just flat. We got our muffler right here, oil fill right here. Here's the back of the machine. It looks like it's really easy to get to the carburetor as well as the valve cover if you need to do a valve adjustment. Airbox, very easy to get to. Spark plug, also very easy to get to, so that's awesome. Here's where we're gonna start it. It has a starting guide right there to make it nice and easy. Pull start. Nothing crazy there. And that's really it, guys. It's a very basic generator. So now we're gonna put some gas, put some oil in it and start this thing up. But real quick, I forgot to mention there's a plate right here that actually has to be removed. This is actually for shipping. Once you remove this, the engine kind of floats on these isolators in order to reduce vibration. Now, it doesn't actually say anywhere in the manual to remove these, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to remove these. I don't know why they'd be red. And if these are bolted on, the engine's not gonna be able to really float on these rubberized bushings. All right, next we're gonna throw some oil in this thing. It takes 10W30. Any flavor you want, doesn't matter. We're gonna change it pretty quickly anyways. I always do when I break in these generators just to get all the metal out of the crankcase. And basically you're gonna fill this thing up to where it's at the threads on the dipstick hole, and that's how you know it's full. Next we're gonna throw some gas in it. If you're gonna let this thing kind of sit around a little while between uses, I would recommend you put stable in the gas to prevent the carburetor from getting gummed up. Starting this thing should be pretty easy. Turn the fuel on. Give that maybe 10 seconds to fill the float bowl of the carb. We're gonna turn the choke on and we're gonna give it a few pulls and see what happens. I am gonna make sure the eco throttle's off. Make sure it's on. All right, one thing I noticed off the bat, the choke lever sticker is actually backwards. This is choke on. And there we go. Turn the eco throttle on. Much better. Now, it's not crazy quiet, but it's also not crazy loud. It's definitely not gonna be as quiet as like a fully enclosed inverter generator. All right, we're gonna let this thing run for a bit, then we're gonna start connecting some loads to it. All right, as you guys can see, we had a big winter storm both through here in Texas. We never lost power and my battery bank stayed charged, but I do want to see how this thing would do in a really cold start situation scenario to see how easy it is to start. As you guys can see, there's snow on the ground. It's about 30 degrees outside right now. We're gonna try to start this thing. Now in the first clip you guys saw of this thing running, I ran it for about 20 to 30 minutes just to kind of break in the engine a little bit. So the engine is slightly broken in, but I still want to do a little bit more breaking in before we change the oil. And when I go to change the oil, I'm gonna show y'all what the first oil change looks like. Turn the fuel on, switch on, eco mode off, choke. Fire right up, turn eco mode on. Start it right up, no problem. I'm gonna let this thing warm up for about a minute or two before we put a load on it, but this is gonna be perfect for charging my batteries up. Working good. Now that we got a little bit of runtime on this generator, I am gonna go ahead and do a break-in oil change, and then we're gonna do some full load testing on it. I did wanna show you guys my maintenance procedure. I do this on all generators I get, cheap or expensive, but I think it's a good idea after about the first 30 minutes to an hour. Do an oil change, get all the stuff out of the crankcase. You'll see there's gonna be a lot of metal and stuff, but we're gonna get this thing changed, get some fresh oil in it, and continue testing. It'll also show how easy or hard it is to actually do the oil change. Some generators it's quite difficult and some it's easy. So all we got to do is pull this 10mm plug out, and there we go. The only thing really bad I would say about this design, and it's not really super nitpicky, but the oil is going to drain off onto this support right here. It is going to kind of make a mess. So do keep that in mind, but that's not really a big deal. Also, it's a good idea to warm the generator up first because the oil will flow out a lot better and faster, and it'll also stir up all the debris that may be in the crankcase. Next, we're going to do a little bit of sound comparison. We're going to be comparing the open frame inverter generator to a fully enclosed inverter generator. Now, this will be louder, but maybe some people are wondering how much louder it's actually going to be. We're going to put them at the exact same distance, put them on the exact same load, and give you guys an idea of the actual difference you're going to get. Now, this is going to be louder because it is exposed frame. However, this is still going to be slightly quieter than a non-inverter style generator just because it has the ability to idle down the engine because it doesn't have to run it at a full 3,600 RPM like you would with a normal generator. I have both generators about 10 feet away from the house, so we're going to start with the enclosed inverter generator. All right, the generator's running. It is not in the low idle mode. It's at full speed that it'll run at, and we're about 70 decibels when I be quiet. Plus the dogs are playing. And there's a plane literally flying right over. Next, we're gonna start this one up. So about 10 decibels louder, definitely noticeable. And I did go ahead and turn on the smart idle, and it's about 2 decibels quieter. Next, we're gonna do a full load test. So this is rated at 3.4 kilowatts continuous. So I have a battery charger right here and a watt-hour meter right here. So we're gonna connect one battery charger to the golf cart, and I'm gonna run a second extension cord to the inside of the house. This is gonna pull 1,000 watts by itself, and the remainder 2,400 watts, we're gonna use a big charger inside the house to try to max this thing out. And then I'm gonna show you guys what it sounds like maxed out. And we're also gonna make sure that we can actually pull 3.4 thousand watts out of this thing. All right, there's our first 1,000 watts. Running it no problem. It did idle up a little bit. So there it is running out in the backyard, and you can barely hear it inside, so that's a good thing. Here's our second battery charger connected, so that's a total of a little bit over 2,000 watts. It's this other battery charger right here that's charging our 48-volt off-grid solar power system. And then I have one more battery charger. This one's 20 amps, so it's gonna pull a little bit over 1,000 watts. And I think those three will get us really close to our 3,400 watt rating. And that charger is actually pulling 1,200 watts. We have 1,200 plus a little over 1,000 plus a little over 1,000. So I would say we're a little over 3,200 watts. This thing's running it just fine. It is a little bit louder. It's definitely a wee bit louder, but it is handling the loads just fine. It doesn't sound like it's about to cut out, and the engine sounds nice and strong on it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up us messing with this Efurden open frame inverter generator for now. I have a couple more ideas planned for some more videos where we can continue to test this thing, but this is just gonna be our overview video. I would say for the money, this thing did pretty good. It's relatively cheap for an inverter generator, and it did work as advertised. I'd say that really the only con is the choke sticker's backwards. But I've noticed you really don't even need the choke to start this. It literally cranks up in one pull without even turning the choke on. So if you do get one of these, just realize that if you think the choke is off, it's probably on and it's not gonna run very good. And it's also a little bit loud, but that's kind of to be expected with an open frame design. If you want a super, super quiet generator, you have to get one that's enclosed. But if you're out in the country and you really don't care about the noise and you're just trying to run tools or maybe power a small camper setup or really anything like that, but you still want the benefits of an inverter generator, I don't think this is a bad choice, especially because it's so cheap. The closest thing I know to this thing as far as power is the Harbor Freight 5,000 watt inverter generator, which I have one of those. It's actually dual fuel, and that thing can do 3,900 watts continuous. This will do 3,400, but that generator is $1,000. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. So this is about a third of the price. And I would say for the money, it works exactly as advertised. I also like how small this thing is. It really is very compact for its power. This is about the same size as like a 2000 watt suitcase style generator, and it only weighs about 50 pounds, so it's not extremely heavy. It's very easy to move around on your own. 2-gallon gas tank, so you should get tons of runtime. That is another video I'm planning, is I want to do a full runtime video. I just don't want to do it in my backyard because this thing's probably going to run all day. So we will be doing that, probably at a 25% load. I'm going to fill this thing up completely, and we're going to run it until it stops running. So that will be a separate video when I get some more time. I like that it uses a standard style engine. This is a very common engine, so if you ever needed engine parts for this, I do think you could actually fix it yourself and be able to repair this thing. I have no idea how long it's going to last. I'm going to continue to put a lot of use on this thing just to see how good this thing is. Now, one good thing I don't really think I talked about initially is the inverter is actually mounted right here above the engine, but there's a lot of air gap between the inverter and the engine, so the inverter should get plenty of cooling on its own. And that's kind of one of the benefits of an open frame, is if you're going to be running this thing really hard, it's not going to have a problem in the heat. And that's really it, so not too much more to say about it. It's a brand I've never heard of, but it seems like it's pretty good. I think a lot of the Chinese made stuff is pretty refined at this point in time, so I don't think you can really go wrong with whatever you end up buying. But I think if you need an open frame inverter generator and you don't mind the noise, this unit for the price you really can't go wrong with. But that's really it, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments about this machine. Leave your opinions. I'd love to hear what you guys think about generators. I've done quite a few generator videos at this point, and like I said, I do plan on doing some more generator content in the future, so if that's something you like watching, definitely stick around for that. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next video.